think I'm about ready to go with this one. We're going to just switch off the music for a moment for this. And I think we're ready to roll. Let's get the right thing up there. Bye bye music. And then we need that. And there we go. Okay, let's switch to the camera. Hello. Alright, I'm just going to be doing, maybe this is going to be a short live stream, and whether or not people are watching or not doesn't really matter so much. I'm going to be recording this one. Actually better start recording. There we go. I'm going to be recording this one for myself as well for a video later on. But I thought I'd do it live, see if anyone joins, that's great. If they don't, that's okay as well. I'm going to be looking at the Reddit Fall Painting Contest and their voting system. I'm not actually going to vote live on camera, just in case anyone does watch. I don't want to influence anyone's choices or anything like that. But I think it is worth going through and seeing people's work, because I think people have tried really, really hard for this contest, and there's a lot of really cool entries. And it'll be nice to just go through, see what people are doing, how people interpret the contest's theme, and just share people's work. I've enjoyed watching the work in progress for a lot of these pieces of work, and now seeing all the final entries, including ones I've not seen anything of, is kind of exciting to see. So I thought it'd be nice to share, and maybe I can do a little highlights video as well after the contest is finished. Also maybe going into more detail of what I chose as the top one. But we're going to go through each one by one and just talk about what I think of them, and what I like about them, what could have been done better, or things like that. Anyway, I need a little bit of a drink to wet my whistle. Let's get on. Alright, first of all, we have here, we had him, this one was called Poughkeepsie. There's this wolf that they painted. This is in the beginner level, so we're going to be going through just the beginner one for now. So I'm not going to be voting for anything right now. I'm going to do that privately by myself. But we can go through the beginner category today and just see what people have done, and the range of skills they've got. And to be honest, like, this beginner category has some pretty good painting in it for beginners. To be honest, if I started out like this, I would have been pretty happy. So we're going to go through, and we'll start off with this one. This one's it was 51. These all come up randomly. So it's using like a Google form. They've made it so it's like this randomized order, and you just go through and start voting for them. I like the fact that they do a randomized order, because it means that any early ones don't either get a boost or a negative thing. Everyone's comes up randomly, so if they do get any kind of effect for being first or last, it won't be in every single person's voting list that way. So we'll just have a look here. This first one here is actually really good. I do really like it a lot. This is awesome. They've made this wolf, this kind of like fire wolf, and they've done quite well with the composition, actually, because you can see there's lighter tones around the face, so it does draw your eye towards there, and you kind of follow the back. Obviously the fire element areas are drawing your eye a lot more, so the paws and the back here. So I would perhaps like something to maybe draw your eye towards the face a little bit more, but you can look at like the definition of the teeth there. You've got nicely defined teeth with the darker tones right in the depths of them, whilst then coming up to these lighter tones here on the teeth. So they did a really good job there. Lots of care given. You got the nice tonal shift from the very hot light yellows up to the cooler areas of the flame, the reds going into dark reds, which is good. That's kind of how you want to do flames. It's not blended particularly well, but to be honest, it doesn't draw away from it. It's looking really good for a beginner. This is super. Really, really good work. I like it a lot. We can actually have a look more at the actual photos that they have as well. So there we go. You can see a bit more of the face. The eyes are actually done really, really well. There's almost like an OSL effect going on with the eyes there as well. That's looking nice. Here you can also see the floor as well, where it's like cracking like lava. It almost is heating up the floor. Obviously, it's a beginner, and looks great. Super. What I would perhaps do if you get more advanced is try to make it look like it's hotter from where the pour is hitting the ground. So it's almost like you see the superheat right where the pour is, and it spreads out. However, you can't have that superheat brighter than the pour itself, because you want the pour to be the source of that fire. So that's something also you have to be careful of when doing something like this. But for a beginner one, this is looking great. Absolutely love it. I got the back. Part of the contest is you have to show the back as well, so you can see all around it. Nothing really to say about that. The side as well. They've kind of got a nice even paint scheme across the whole body, so we don't need to spend too long on these. One more just for scale. There we go. So you can see how big it is. It's actually, I think it's quite a big model. Because if we, yes I do. If I get like one of our Citadel pots of the same size, I've got a model that I'm doing, they're actually smaller than the pots. So the wolf itself is actually quite large. I would say is about this big. So it's quite a big model. So it's a good one to work with as a beginner, because the larger model size allows you to kind of try out some of those more difficult techniques. I will say, looking at it from here, I would have liked more done around the fur of the nostrils here. It looks like it's just flat black, and that's just a shame there, because it doesn't draw your attention as much as other areas. But the eyes do pull you in. It's good. Good start, good start. Okay, so that's the first one there. Let's move down and have another look at the next one. So next one we've got 33 Crod House. The gallery is here as well. Okay, again another beginner that's trying out some difficult techniques. We've got OSL on this one. In terms of this composition, there's not much, to be honest. I would love to see more detail in here, but they've gone for an OSL where, to make the OSL work, you need everything else dark and the OSL area brighter so it reads as OSL. So it does kind of do that, but I feel it's almost too flat everywhere, around here and around here, around here. But this bit here is absolutely lovely, and you can see where they really put their work in to try and create this glowing effect on the hourglass that's hanging here. So I really like this. This is looking really sweet. This bit here, I'm afraid these bits here, I guess, are painted like metal, but it just looks like unpainted metal on a Mini. So it's a bit of a shame there. A lot of this, if a little bit extra work was done, I think this could have looked really, really nice. This is kind of cool, this sluicing stuff down here with a skull. That's awesome. Let's go and actually have a look at the images on Imgur. Okay, and we can see here that same photo, the cover photo there. We'll move down. Okay, we can move around. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I'm kind of sad about that. It's a bit lacking of some detail, or it's just doesn't look like as much care has been put in as was done here, and even on the base. The base is actually looking quite nice. I really like this. It's just some of this model here and parts of the model where you really, really want to have some focus just kind of lack a lot of detail. Again, it's a beginner one, but it's absolutely fantastic for a beginner. Really super. Yeah, I really like. I'm really digging the base. You kept it dark, apart from the OSL, which you needed. But I'm not sure about these white splotchy bits on the back of the cloak. I think this is throwing me off a little bit, which is a shame. But yeah, again, this bit looks lovely, and it is, again, it's quite a big model. So again, it's a good idea for a beginner to use a big model, because you can practice those techniques with a little bit more care without worrying too much about making mistakes, because it's easier to fix. Again, yeah, you're looking at there's the thing. So he's a very decent sized model. Good choice for beginners to practice for a contest, I think, especially do something like OSL. So good work. But I would say I still prefer the first one. Let's go on to the next. So we've got Barkaseg. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that one. I saw some of the work in progress on this one, and it was nice to see his work getting better and better, and as he tries to do more work on it. And you can see some techniques developing here, where he's doing some nice highlighting. It's a little bit washed out colors. I would have liked to have seen more intensity, more contrast, to really bring out all of those areas. It's looking a little bit, still looks a little bit flat, but again, great work for a beginner. That's really super. Really nice theme for the contest. I think that's really good. Let's actually have a look at some more of the pictures in the Unga. Okay, so yeah, on the side, yeah, you can see some of the highlighting work and understanding how the highlighting works. That's good. That's good. Yeah, he's trying to put in lots of little details in here. I think with the paint is put on a little too thickly. Like he could have, I presume it's a he. They could have thinned their paints a little bit more, and I think we would have gotten smoother blends. But you can see ranges of colors all in everything, and shades and things. This is looking actually really nice around here. I like this a lot. And here is where you can see it's dark. I don't think it's the shadow. I think it's actually the way they've painted it as well. So it's good because you can see it there as well, where it's very clearly under the light, but they've managed to put in the shade very nicely. So I really like that. That's really, really good. It's just lacking contrast is, I think, the issue I'm having with the model. But really nice work again. Like these beginners are super. That's a shame. Overexposed in the photo, and it looks like it's almost like a camera flash. So that's going to make your work look bad when you photograph it like this. This was much better photography. This I would have perhaps not published because it's that straight on light that makes your work look crap, even if it's really good. Like you could take a really cool photo, not really cool photo, a really, really nicely painted mini, photograph it like this, and it will look bad. This is much better. This actually shows a lot of the contrasts, and actually even more. I would say this is actually probably the best photo to see of it. And yeah, it's about the size of a Vallejo bottle. That's cool. That's not too bad. Just for scale. That's cool. That's cool. Looking lovely. Looking lovely. Now that sells it for me a lot more. You can actually see a lot more of the detail of things. So I'll just zoom in a little bit. I don't know if you can see that very well, but yeah, that's looking nice. Much better. That's made me like it even more. Definitely worth having a look at all of the IMGA galleries. See if you can find a good photo to really sell it. And see what it looks like. This looks much better. I think it's just some poor photography on the earlier shots, which is a bit of a shame that the photography, I think, hurts this model more than the actual paint job. The paint jobs are actually really good, going by that last photo. Oh wow, that's an interesting looking fella. So let's have a quick look at this one. This one is the Pilot Winged Eyeliner. I'm guessing these are the names of the entrance. So let's have a look at their gallery. Alright. Yeah, this is a weird looking figure, isn't he? There are some techniques being tried here, like some highlights, I'm guessing trying to do some wet blends and things, which is really hard to do. The mouth here, the fleshy tones here is kind of cool on the tongue. I like that. That's really nice. The eyes don't really sell it for me. It's I guess they're eyes, or they look like spawn almost. Maybe they're supposed to be spawn. This bit's nice down here. You can see a blend of colour going on between the green and a bit of red in there. If that was purposeful, it looks really nice. I like the fact that there's some very darks going up lighter and lighter. That's looking nice. These bits of the arms, though, I just don't like these. This part looks like sloppy work. This looks much better. The mouth is looking pretty gruesome, especially the lower rung of teeth, and the whole inside of the mouth, as I said before, is looking pretty good. And let's have a look at the other angles. Yeah, these tentacles, I'm sorry, they're not sold for me. and these bits here too flat, too flat. But see, there's a little bit of, you see some gradient there, but here the change of gradient is not smooth, not smooth enough, and that's a bit garish. The base as well is a bit too basic, but worthy effort, worthy effort. But for me, it's probably one of the weakest ones so far. But it's one of the smallest ones as well. So that's like, the others were a lot bigger. This one is the smallest entry so far. So that's good for trying on that smaller one. I would have perhaps, if it's a 3D print, I would have perhaps printed it out a little bit larger. Tried some of those techniques on a larger model as an early painter, and that would be a bit better. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's looking nice. Oh, yeah, this little wraith is looking pretty cool. I do like the choice of blue. That's a nice turquoise. That's looking quite nice. This brown as well. Let's go and have a look at the Imgur gallery because I want to see it a little bit more clearly. Yeah, those are looking pretty good. Browns are a little bit flat along here, but I do really like this turquoise choice of color for the wraith. It's looking really nice. And it's blended quite nicely here, almost like the arms are glowing onto his rags. Or the rags themselves are turning ethereal as they get longer. That's nice. I also use Techless Blue Mate. But yeah, that's looking pretty good. Yeah. The base has got a nice glow about it. It's a bit simple, but it's a beginner one. This one's really great for a beginner, though. It looks cool. If you have an army of these, it's going to look good on the tabletop as well. The blade's a little bit bland on this side here. Overexposed to light. But yeah, you get the idea there. It's pretty good. Not bad, not bad. Yeah. I would perhaps like to have seen more colour in it, though. Just based on that blue. It's a nice choice of colours. I would like to have seen more colour. So, not so. I kind of had an initial positive reaction, but I would like to see more in it. It's a little bit too simple in its choices. Okay, someone who's actually made an effort with a real effort with their base. That's good. So I really like this base. This is nice. I got the nice raised area for it. It's a little bit too square here for me to look natural, but this bit is lovely looking coming down here, and then they've made an effort making a little river. That's looking good as well. Lots and lots of efforts in here for a beginner to try. This is great. And a nice little mossy bit at the back there. The actual model itself. Let's actually get a closer look at the model because I want to see how they've painted that. This is kind of it's a much nicer photo on the Imgur here. A little bit more high definition. You see some of the details a bit more clearly, but let's get closer to this model. Okay. Now this is like almost, I guess, a little bit more of a warmer exposure. When you have this cooler exposure, that's looking nice. I like that a lot more. Again, it shows you how much the camera can affect a model, and the lighting can affect a model. A lot of it is quite flat in its painting, but except the cloak. The cloak, they put in some effort there. That's good. And the reins and the handle here. The rest of it is a little bit flat. There's some heads there, but they're hard to make out because the details are not pronounced enough. Again, beginner effort, really, really nice. I really like the fact that it's on this really nice diorama that they've created here. Again, I would have loved to have seen more in the diorama, but again, as a beginner piece, this is lovely. Yeah, not sure if there's much else I can say. The water is kind of looks like it's foaming like rapids, but it's like a small stream. I think maybe some other techniques could have been used to make that a little bit better as well. I like the fact that it's kind of glowing almost. The blue is all up around the sides there. Not particularly natural for a stream, but I can see where they're making some efforts with the work, and also just yeah, the color variation across the stone is kind of nice. That's really good. So certainly for the base and everything, this is a really nice one. Ah, you can see it. It's a fairly small miniature as well. Okay, so there's supposed to be glowing souls in the river. Okay, so is that like I wonder if that's like what's it? It was glow in the dark, neon-y paints, and so that's why this one's got a slightly different camera setup, so that these will glow a bit more. I don't know. That's a bit interesting though. That makes more sense now that things are blue around the edge of it. You can't really see it in any of the other photos though. You can't see it in these ones. But this one you start seeing them. That creates a bit more of a theme for it as well. So I'm glad again that I go through all of these photos to see that. Alright, let's keep going. Next we've got looks like a type of Skaven. Let's get a closer look. There's no base on this one. It's a bit of a shame. It's just the model itself. You see some shading work being done. That's good. So it's about the size of a dropper bottle. Okay. I would like to have seen some shading, at least a little bit of shading work, just throwing an ink or a shade over the claws that come out here, just to give them a little bit more definition. They're a little bit flat. A lot of the colors are a little bit flat on this model. Tail's kind of nice. A little bit flat on this model though. And the lack of base as well is a bit of a shame on that one. Again, with the effort, they took care with the eye, trying to get it in there and making sure it's not staining around the sides. Maybe the green is a little bit too close to this kind of blue, so I'll perhaps change the color a little bit to contrast with the blue rather than complement it so much that it almost looks the same color. You can see that it is a little bit different, but not different enough for my liking. I would like to have seen a lot more contrast in there. Oh, that's a shame, because that looks like it might be quite good, but the photo does not do it justice. That's a shame. If they spent a little bit more time on how to do the photo, it looks like they've got the straight on light, almost like a flash. That's not good, and the exposure is way too short, too low. Let's have a look, see if there's any other photos that are a bit better. Okay, because it's a shame, because it looks like it might be quite good. I just can't tell. It's kind of cool model. Almost looks like the model from Malifaux, which is like the Grave Golem. It looks a bit like that. But oh, that's cool. It's got a Weeping Angel there. You see, I couldn't even make out the Weeping Angel type of statue on that first photo because it's just so hard to make out. It's a shame because it's possibly quite good, but I just can't make out anything because of the poor photography. Sorry. Everything looks pretty flat. Pretty flat. But there is, like, for the fact that he's just a big rock, they have gone for some different colors for each of the rocks to show that it's, rocks aren't all in the same color and things like that. It would be nice to maybe see a bit more like moss and stuff growing in places, especially like around the skull and things where it's kind of lodged in there and not being able to get out. Maybe even the gates as well. Gates are, again, looking a little bit flat and almost oily. So, but would have liked some nicer photos. I think it would have done better if I could actually make it out properly. Sorry. Alright, let's keep it going. Alright, now that's good for a beginner. They're brave, trying to do some stuff there. That's awesome. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so paint is a little bit thick in places. I know this. I do this a lot. I get it thick in places, but I like this area here. They've highlighted this one very nicely. Here they've tried to almost put in a little design. It gets a bit splotchy and everything everywhere down around here, but you can see the effort, and the blend, although not perfect, is looking pretty good from the black to the brownish red. I need to see the face a bit more. Hands, I think, too flat. It really needs some more definition there. The blade as well, a bit too clean on everything. Again, needs that definition, needs that change of color just to give it that contrast between the colors as they move between each other. Yeah, face is maybe too dark. It doesn't draw your face to, it doesn't draw your eye towards it. The midriff is where your eyes are drawn first, and really what you want to be doing is you want to pull the eyes all the way up to the top here, and then see a really cool thing here. So just looking at like bringing up the highlights on the head skull bit here on the cloth, just to pronounce this part of the skull would have looked, I think would have looked really, really nice. Again, I know it's a beginner, so I'm going to forgive a lot of that. But yeah, it looks nice. Yeah, I don't like that photo. Yeah, I'm not sure about that photo. It's not that super. These other ones are much better. But yeah, that one shows it off probably the best, but gives you the best impression of it. The other angles kind of show up some of the weaknesses of the model. When you're actually looking at it straight on, you're not being drawn to the face at all. So composition-wise, it's not great. There's a few techniques in there where they're technically actually showing some good skill. I think change up some of your choices of where you highlight the highest, and draw your eye up it a little bit more, and then I think that's really good. Right now it kind of draws your eye, you're instantly drawn here and then pulled down, because this is where the temperature of the colors is stronger than up here. But you really, if you want it up here, you want to be pulled up to the top. I'm not quite sure where to look at first. I'm not sure quite where to look from the middle, so it's that balance is a little off for me. That's good. Okay, this is looking nice. Initially on the photo, it's looking a little dull in colors, but that may be the photograph. But you can see a lot of color shifts and blends, which look actually quite smooth around the face here. So let's get in the Imgur and have a look at some of the angles, see what we can see. Yeah, this is really nice. I don't know if this one should be in the beginner category. At least it's hard to tell because everything looks so muted. There's not that punch of color. It's very low. However, there's lots of highlights and things like that. It's lacking contrast. I'm not sure if it's the model's paint job or if it's the camera that's being used, because everything just looks a little bit washed out. Yeah, that's the only issue. Everything is really nice about this model, just looks really washed out, lacking contrast. But there's some smooth blends and things. You can see like they've highlighted in areas and left really, darker areas, darker recesses. Reads well. It's just washed out. So yeah, increase that contrast and you're onto a winner there, I think. But it's just lacking the contrast. This blend here is nice. Yeah, you can see it. Look at that. It's going from almost this pinkish color going through purples up to the blues in these areas. They've spotted the eye pretty well. Very good for a beginner. You've got the black rim around the eye, which is good. So they've socketed it black, and then they've put in the yellow of the whites of the eye, and then a white for the iris. White was a little bit messy. It hit some of this edge here. If you kept that edge in there with the black, that would look really nice, I think. But yeah, that's a pretty good job. It's pretty good. Just lacking contrast, I feel. The colors, the color choice is just all a little bit dull. Hair here, you can see it's a little bit messy on these parts here. The control of the brush isn't there yet, although the idea of the technique and then the approach is correct. Just the fine skill of it and placement of it is a little bit off. Kind of went a bit easy with almost dry brushing it, I think, here, where just being careful with the highlights would have been better. Perhaps they're even using like the tip of the brush. I can imagine someone going in using the tip of the brush like this, and it's spreading out, where they should be using the edge of the brush and using that to control it over the raised areas and doing that way. So I feel like that might have been the technical issue that they had with doing things like the hair and the muscles and things, because it gets a little bit sloppy here and there, and it looks like it's just they're going straight on it with the brush. Easy errors to make, but really good. I like it. Okay, this guy's got the same. This is the same model as that last one that we saw that had just a poor photo quality. So here we can actually see details a lot more. So this one's just a better version of that, but it's the exact same model. You can actually make out everything much more easily on this one. So it'll be interesting to see this one. You can also like the difference with this one is they've gone with the rocks being pretty much the same color. However, they've put color variation into the rock to show almost shading, so that reads a lot better. However, the variation in the color, there's a lack of variation between the rocks, and that's kind of a shame. Where the other one, I think, did have some variation in the rock colors, which I kind of like that fact. This one though is just technically better across the whole thing. Nicely defined areas of the model. Everything's much easier to read. You can see the shading in recesses just helps everything else pop where the highlights are. So good. I like this. This is almost like the rust. It looks a bit like almost a fire glow, but I think they're going for rust. Yeah, you can see the rust up here. That's pretty good. So that's really nice that they've tried to add that rust there, so it's getting old. You can see it a lot more on the side there. That's nice. Oh, these are really good. You can see the bones there, and it's much more earthy at the bottom here, as he's almost digging up earth, and it's all built up into his feet. That's cool. Yeah, this is really good. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. That one, I do like that one quite a bit. That's cool. God, it's hard to think what would be my favorite. Which one of the top ones? There are some which are clearly better than others, but can't say anything that is standing out as like, oh, this is the winner for me. This is, but okay. So this next one here, kind of got a wraith-like character. Pretty cool. Error. It's not redirecting me properly. Let's try that one more time. Nope. Looks like we're not going to be. Okay, it does send us to it. I don't know why it came up with a redirect question there. Let's have a look-see. Okay, this one is looking pretty nice as well. We've got nice wings and everything. There is a lot more of the contrast in this. Don't know about this sword though. This sword is not popping in the slightest for me. They've tried blending some colors and things like that, but it's not popping for me at all. Blending a little bit too closely to the robes. I think they've done a fairly good job with the robes there. Oh, I didn't even notice the scorpion tails coming out there. So yeah, they've got scorpion tails with the stingers with the poison at the end, you can see. Okay. Wings are looking pretty cool. Size of the model is actually smaller than I was thinking it would be. It must be, yeah, that must big. Fairly decent sized model, but yeah, it looks a lot more imposing than its size actually is. Okay, wings look lovely. Yeah, I like these wings. There's a nice contrast between the edges to the center where you see almost like a light highlight there. Almost looks like it is skin. That's pretty good, to be honest. That's really nice. I like this, the threading, the webbing of the wings as well. That looks cool. That's probably the best part of the model. Would have liked something done with the base, but it's just black, but that's fine, that's fine. And there it is where it was before it was painted. Nah, not bad, not bad. I like it. Just that sword ruins it for me a little bit. It's just no definition in it. Wings really nice. Wings really nice. Okay, we've got 45 Nizjem. This one shows a lot of good techniques. Yes, you can tape you there. So, what do we got here? It's like a merman fish thing. Oh, excuse me. I think I need water. Where did my water go? That's down here. I think some good choice of colours. Maybe a bit too metallic. It looks very shiny. Metallic. I think it is metallic. But there is some nice shading between those colours. It just looks very metallic across the whole thing. Some really, just some very good basic technical skills. Face is too dark. There's not enough definition in the face for me to draw up to have a look at it. I get pulled here, right in the center. Again, similar problem to that previous one where you got pulled into the center and there was quite a lot of detail going down and color there, but the head was dull. And yeah, you want that head to pop a bit more for you. It's a little too dark. But yeah, base is fairly nice. I like these rocks and everything. Sand looks too much like real sand. And real sand on a model's base looks like you put real sand on a model's base. It doesn't actually look part of the model. So I would have painted the sand as well. I don't think it's been painted. So it looks a little bit off. But really nice painting job. Really, really good. Technically good. Lots of careful painting, it looks like. Yeah, define the face a bit more, bring some more highlights up, make us look here. Bring our eyesight up here rather than keeping us down here and across here. But these are great beginner ones. Oh, I like this. Again, it's similar difficulties, similar problems across. This is the thing with the beginners one, I think, is oftentimes it's contrast that's missing in their pictures. There's already a lot of good technical skills shown throughout these beginner models. Just some of them lack a little definition, a little bit too flat across the entire thing. So this is the issue here. The face, the helmet, like technically everything is looking really nice. Nothing draws my eye anywhere is the problem. So this I think would have been fine as is. It looks really nice down here. This is where you really wanted to make it pop. So it needs to be brighter here. It needs to really draw up your attention. Much lighter highlights across the head and skull here, and brighter eyes. Keep the helmet pretty dark, but maybe with some shine on the underside here. Bring out this part more. Bring this up, and then this bit is the bit that pops out, and it will look a lot better. At the moment, too flat across the entire thing. You need that contrast across the model, bringing your eyes up through it. And I think that's the recurring difficulty in the recurring area that I think a lot of these beginners need to work on. They're all pretty much technically got some skills going on, which is great. Just need to work on those bits. Let's keep on going down. Okay. See, now this one's got a lot more contrast in it, which is lovely. Just take me there. Reaper, Gauntfield the Scarecrow. Oh, nice. Yeah, you can see where they've put in some, not just some rust across the thing, but some oxidization. as well in this. I like that. There's some nice definitions between materials. That's good. Nothing looks flat, which is great. You can see some nice little highlights on the hat. Um, yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. Um, it's just placement is a little bit sloppy. I think that's the only thing that's really drawing me away from it a little bit. But this is a small model, and they've done a fair job on it. Something about the glossiness of this paint, maybe. Um, I think it's a little bit too satin, and that's a problem. It's helped bring contrast up, but it's a little too satin and a little too shiny. Um, this kind of character, you expect them to be drab. You can still keep a lot of that contrast there, but you keep those colors matte. Um, it maybe it's the camera, but it looks a little too shiny. That's the only issue there. A little too satin. But yeah, I like it though. It's got really cool character, and the model's choice is really nice. They've had a go at doing the base, making this kind of nice mossy, dirty ground that is standing in, and this sack of bones. That's cool. Like it. Right, how are we doing? I think there's loads of, Jesus Christ, there's loads of entries. We're hardly anywhere through this. This is unbelievable. Okay, so this one. Okay, let's try and go a little bit quicker through these. Let's go back in here. Again, similar problem. There's not enough shading. Is the biggest issue with this one. It's too flat. Lots of just flat color. No shading. This is kind of cool. You've got nice blends going on there. They've actually done some highlighting and everything. That's where they've done well. A little bit in the hair there. Putting in the shade in the wrong places. It looks really thick, that paint as well. You can tell this is a 3D printed model. You can see kind of this layering here. But yeah, it's lacking a lot of definition. So more shading. Think about your placement of highlights. Cannot make that one out. The quality of the photo is pretty poor. Why would you use this one as your cover photo? I'm sorry, I just don't understand using this one as your cover photo. You can't really make out anything. Very flat. Similar problems. Very flat in colors. There's no definition of anything. True beginner though. That's good to see. I think some of them are not perhaps true beginners, and this one is a true beginner, and it's great for the effort. But it's just red and black and yellow. There's no definition. Even throwing on a shade would do you wonders. The legs as well blend too much with the ground. It looks like it's unfinished. That's the issue. Looks unfinished. Okay, I saw this one before. Again, it's photo's not great. Very, very satin, very, very shiny. It's almost glossy, really. And it's too much. Skin doesn't shine like that. Things don't shine like that. It's too much. Almost looks like maybe the paints are really, really glossy and thick, and you can see how thick they are. Base is the same color as the robes. It's hard to make out, I'm afraid. It's a very, very small model, so well done on trying to have a go at that one. But again, the photos aren't great as well, so they don't really complement it so much. You can see actually some work on the eyes there. That's definitely very commendable there, and some trying to do some kind of almost wet blends and things here with the magic. But yeah, way too glossy. This one, if we have a look at that one looks pretty. This one looks pretty good. Okay, yeah, it's good technical work. It's kind of like an undead land manta ray, which is pretty cool. It's very small as well, very, very small, and I think they've defined the eyes as well really nicely. Yeah, for a beginner that's looking good. It looks fleshy, got some highlights in there. It's good. Maybe a bit more definition needed, but nice. Oh, cool. It's got like a really cute looking diorama almost. So, yeah, we got like this little house and everything's very cute. It's kind of cool that they put it in this little diorama. It's kind of thrown together diorama. That's cute. Actual painting though, not bad, not bad. I like the choice of greens in there. I like that kind of swampy greenish look for Toad Warriors. They've got an underbelly that's a different color to their back, just like like a lot of frogs do and things. So I commend that. That's good. Thinking about those different kind of colors across the skin. It's not just one, and the inside of the muscles and things there. That's good. That's good. I like it. Mouth is nicely done. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that one. Ooh. Alright, I'm going to say this one is actually painted pretty well as well. Yeah, I like some of the definition here of the muscle as wood, and the highlights that are done. I would like to see perhaps more variation in colour. I don't think trees grow in the exact same colour across the whole thing, so looking at how it could have some colour variation would make it a bit more interesting. Because it's a little bit too, because so much of the model is the same color. It's even though highlighted nicely that's the issue there. Pumpkin's cool. Let's keep going. Okay, this is not a beginner. Surely not. Surely not. Right there, that's. Okay, this is by far the best model we've seen so far. I think that's probably better than my work. That's not a beginner. The base, beginner. The model, no. That's great. Look at the definition on the face there. Wonderful highlight placement, looking really nice. That's lovely. Okay, I'm gonna actually have to finish up the stream there. Family at home, so we'll stop there for now. And that one is definitely by far fantastic. Look at that. Look at the detail in this. Okay, no, it needs to be in the intermediate at least. That's looking super. I don't know why it didn't get moved up. He should have done. That's great. If there's nothing else like this, I wouldn't be surprised if this one is the winner. Even though it's not really on theme, spooky. It's kind of, he's got grotesque parts about him, but I don't find him spooky. Apart from maybe the colour scheme that they tried to do on the orc. That's about it. Anyway, we're going to have to leave it at that for now. I might come back later and do some more. It's kind of fun just going through and talking about this out loud. But there's a lot there to do, and I've got to go and actually do my own voting on it as well. So, yeah, that's been that for now. Thank you for watching, and catch you later. Bye-bye. All right. Looks like I'm going to have a chance to do a little bit more. So let's get back on. Just have a little break. Boom. Hello. So, where were we? Yeah, this guy's too good. It's really good. Just the base is a bit crappy. Okay, interesting choice. Pretty freaky looking character. It's a bit similar to that last tentacle monster. There's kind of a lot going on, but it's just too busy, so it doesn't quite draw the eye where it perhaps wants to. Yeah, it's just a bit too busy. Excuse me. Lots of blending being tried, which is definitely commendable, but a little bit too busy. Okay, kind of a simple one. I think on theme, it's pretty good. It's kind of nice, this almost just pure black, grey, kind of almost blue-grey going on here. Very nighttime-esque with just the glow of the eyes. Really draws it up to the face, which is kind of cool, which is what you want. Maybe a bit still too dark around here a little bit. I would like to see maybe more OSL, but for a beginner, fantastic. Looks good. Like, it's still, everything is quite defined. And that's quite hard to do when you're only keeping things monochrome almost. Yeah. Get a little bit lost on the back there, but it's still pretty good. I like that. Yeah, I'd like to have seen a close-up of the face, just to see all of this. You can see a bit of OSL going on there, but pretty much on theme. It's good. Okay, this skeleton, I think we can just call it from this page. We don't need to look at the img. It's just, this is a beginner. That's good. And it's a nice effort, very flat. Bit of rust on there, it looks really nice. But the body and the bones look flat. Needs shading. Just throw washes on it. For now, that's a good start. When you're starting out painting, use some washes. Helps you see where those definitions are later on. As you get better, change out of doing washes and work on defining those shadows yourself without the use of a wash, unless, you know, washes have their place and things, but I find it quite liberating to not use them as much as possible, not use them. Cool model. Really like the model. This is looking yucky and great. That's nice. But again, it's similar to the one previously of the horse dude. The colours are just washed out and a little flat. You can see the efforts being made on some highlights and things, but it's just not showing through enough, and so it's lacking some of that contrast. The bones and the robes are a bit too closely matched. It's hard to define them, so they needed defining lines between it to really make them work. Face on this one is non-existent. Let's actually have a look at the image, because this one looks quite good. Okay. Yeah. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool with the little veins and things on it. quite a big model. Tentacles get a bit too close in colour with the rest of this here. Again, it's just those dull things. And again, a similar problem with it. I know they're tentacles, so they're supposed to be slimy. But no, I'm just not too fond of this overly glossy look. It's just overly glossy. Without it looking slimy, just glossy. That's kind of an issue I have with it. Okay. Next one is from L'Albatros. Okay, this is a nice little mini. You can tell it's a very small mini. I'm actually curious to see how small. I like the rust. It's nice. Nice little details here and there. That's good. You can see a little bit of highlighting done on the actual model itself on the skin. I like to see more, but again, for a beginner piece, this is great. This is kind of like what I would expect is in the beginner category to be pretty good quality. Yeah, and you got nice blends across the wood of the scythe. That's good. And he's even tried to put in, I think, like a little beard or something. Yeah, you can see there's some things there. They're a little heavy-handed on the highlights and the blending through, but good. Like it. And it's tiny. He's itty bitty teeny weeny. Teeny tiny. So great work. I like that one. That one is, for me, like as a beginner, that looks like, I can tell it's someone who is a beginner, but putting in a lot of the effort, which is really good. So you're gonna definitely grow as a painter. Cool model. Very striking pose. That's awesome. This is defined really nicely. This is flat. Right now, this is someone who's got some skills. The reds look nice. I'm guessing they're actually metallics, and that's why it looks really nice. But I think there's still like some nice. I think they're still defining it quite nicely with highlights. The black is too flat. Skin is a little bit defined, but still too flat. These metals as well, too flat. Hair highlighted a bit weird. This looks great. I'm thinking this is a metallic red, and it works very nicely for this type of model because the light shines on it, making it look like you've highlighted it really nicely. The black, though, kind of gives away the fact that everything was actually painted quite flatly. That's the shame. Black is hard to paint. You don't just do it black. You still need a range in there. Yeah, everything's flat. Everything's flat. There's no highlights or definitions or shades or anything like that. So that's what you would need on that one. Nice choice of colors. Really nice choice of colors. Too flat. Good beginner model. But that's where you would improve. Wow. Okay. Again, I would have put this guy in intermediate. I think just looking at this, everything's pretty well defined. This is maybe looking a little bit flat for the ghostly parts here. So I would have liked to see that. The face, though, it looks really nice. Still would have put him in intermediate, I think. He's still got some highlights and things. It's pretty basic on the highlights, I guess. It is borderline case. He wouldn't have been able to win intermediate at all, but I think maybe he's beginner. Yeah. Looking at the back, it's lacking a lot of definition there. I think he's just done a really good job on defining that skull, and it's really, really pushed it forward. Good choice of colours. Contrasts are nice. Would have liked to have seen more contrast in the ghostly blues here. Nice ghostly blue, though. Good. I like it. It's nice. Alright. Right, that's the undid that one there. Okay, now we've got a necromorph type of character here. I think this is one I actually gave advice on when they were painting. I didn't know which level they were. But yeah, this butcher, they've done a really nice, there's some pretty good work here, like, very fleshy, but there's some different ranges of colours and things. The floor as well is lovely and bloody. That's good, where it's like fresh victim, whilst his skin is more rotted and more congealed. Perhaps there's some blood there that's still pooling. That's looking good. But yeah, I like it. It's nice. But again, I guess it's just, again, with a lot of these beginner ones, it lacks some definition, maybe lacks a bit of contrast, but good work. There is difference in colour between the bits of flesh and bone and things like that, and that's a nice definition. I think you could have just gone a bit further with it. That would have been great. Looking nice. I like that one. Ooh, this is like a old school style of Bloodthirster, or like an epic version of a Bloodthirster, I guess. Let's go have a look. Okay. I guess the main photo is a bit poor because it's not focusing on him, it's focusing on the background. You can see it's all blurry here and focused here. Yeah, that's bit better focus. It is a tiny model. It looks like it maybe is like for Epic 40k or something like that. Bit of like a definition on the metallics there. I like the lava style handle here. Again, the metallics are too flat. You can highlight metallics. It's worth highlighting metallics to define them a bit more, and throwing shades into recesses and things. It's fairly a simple thing to do that can really help define them a bit better. I guess he's put in a bit of a shade. Still like to have seen more definition in it. The blacks as well are a bit too flat, but it's nice work though. I like the horns, and the face is pretty good there. Eyes a little bit messy but good. But it's a tiny model, so fantastic. Well done. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Looks like a flying alien. Yeah, it's like a xenodragon. There you go. Yeah. So it's a type of xenomorph. You got that slick black that is part of the alien universe. That's look. I don't know if is that. Are those highlights all painted, or is it just the way the camera catches the light? I think they're actually painted, so that's really, really nice. I like that a lot. That's great. I feel though a lot about the model is because it's this almost monotone slick thing, it needs more contrast between the lights and the darks to make areas draw your eye and things like that. It's again a little too flat. It's a nice idea. They've definitely got the that shiny alien texture correct. Just needs more contrast between the lights and the darks. Draw your eye in certain areas and control where you're looking. It's a bit too samey everywhere, so I don't know really where to look. The only bit that really draws my attention is when you show me the wings like this, and it's like, wow, that looks awesome. Okay, this is one which is done a little bit better than that previous one we saw, but again, this one is one of those ones which verge on beginner and intermediate, so I think this is one that could do quite well here in beginner, and maybe next time move to intermediate. This is quite good. Really like that face. That's cool the way it shines through. That's nice. And this blend, pretty smooth. Pretty smooth. That's nice. This is maybe a bit too light, because the model itself is quite dark. Having the base light, your eye gets drawn down to the base rather than the main bit of the model. So rather than complementing it, it looks really nice. Rather than complementing it though, it kind of overtakes the model, or outdoes the model a bit, that's a bit of a shame. Other than that, it's really nice. I must say, like in this category, nothing's really shouted at me spooky. Maybe that, but even that, it's mostly just models and things. The only one that's really on theme, I guess, was the one with was a bit like a diorama. It was just hard to make out the meaning of the diorama until you saw through the the gallery. I'm guessing it's supposed to be like an undead horse, or she's undead. Yeah, because you can see there's the kind of rotted side of the horse, so it's like half and half. Is she half and half as well? Yeah, she's half and half. I thought it was just a weird paint job. But yeah, half of her is like brand new, and the other half is undead. I see that. Yeah, you can see that definitely. That's a cool theme. I like that. So you can look at it one side and be like, oh, there's a lovely lady. Look at that lovely lady. And then on this side, oh no, scary dead lady. And it's cool. But again, too pale. It needs more of that contrast. Again, maybe the camera and lighting, but that's my one issue. Looks good though. Cloak looking nice. The cloak is what I'm looking at. This is really nice. I like the fact that they've made this kind of darkness here where the staff of the shaft of the spear is. That's really cool. But it overtakes too much of the model, I guess. This bit looks less interesting because this is so nice. Good. I'm not going to look at the rest of the imgers. Let's have a look at the shield. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, it's not bad. It's okay. It's a nice model though. It's nicely done. Okay. Okay. The color scheme kind of matches the base. Again, it's similar issue is the dullness of the colors, the lack of contrast. Good choice though. It's a nice. I do like the rags. The rags are done well. Those are looking good. I feel like you could do a bit more with the bones, but technically well done. It's good. Pretty small model as well. Not bad. Okay, oh my god, we're only halfway. This is quite a quite a lot of entries. Quite amazing. Looks pretty cool. Too flat in colours, but base is pretty basic. Yeah, and move on. Hard to make out. Looks like something from The Thing. Almost. Yeah. Did they do this themselves or something? A gory aberration. I guess, yeah, kind of spooky, grotesque. It's like a weird horse thing. I guess inspired by The Thing. But technically not that great, I'm afraid. It's too just much of a mess. I'm not really feeling that one. Nice. This one is good. It's a zombicide, so they're pretty small models, but really nice. It draws your face up to the head with these nice highlights around here. That's good. Good definition of all those muscles and things and the rags. I like that a lot. That's good. Nice work. Nice. Good beginner painting. Looks a bit dry brush heavy, hence the chalkiness. Good. It's looking good. And it's teeny tiny. It's well done. Wow. Cool, there's a little bit of a diorama. Okay, I can't quite make out anything. Again, this is where there's not enough contrast, so you cannot see the definitions of anything. That's one of these issues that would keep propping up. Love the idea of this OSL. That's lovely. Really done quite smoothly as well. Dragon itself, not enough of the way of definitions. It's too... I think if you would take a black and white photo of this, it would all be grey. And that's, I think, what a lot of these models struggle with. What is this bit down here? Is it just a... Oh, there's like a little stash of treasure as well. That's kind of a cool thing to add to the base. That's nice. Not particularly spooky, but cool. This tree is spooky with a raven. That's cool. I do like this. This is nice. Nice touch. Nice little bits of OSL for the eyes and things. Just, yeah. It's just, I feel like if you would take a black and white photo of this, you would see the problem of the color intensities are not strong enough. Really want a close up of that little thing down there. I'm trying to work out what it was. It's like, looks like a tree stump that's a head with an axe in it. I think that's what it is. Lots of effort put in. Good work. Okay. Cool pumpkins and things. Yeah, nice blends. Showing some decent blending. Black is too flat. Face, no definition in the face and head. It almost looks like bare metal, like it hasn't been painted, and that's a problem. Trees lacking a little bit of definition, I guess, on the back side at least. On the front, it's not too bad. Rest of the base is looking a little flat as well. But it's nice with these pumpkins. That's really cool. Okay. Nice with the little flecks of blood and things, almost as if it was going around stabbing everything. Stabby like stabber. Oh, hi there, Red Squad of 5. Sorry I didn't see your message there for a couple of minutes. Just going through the Reddit Fall Minipainting Contest. It's nice to actually catch you online. I know I very rarely do so. Okay. Interesting model. I can see them trying to do some blending techniques. Again, similar issues. It's quite flat in the colours or lacking contrast. But I really love the thematic element of this model. Not quite sure why it's in a 40k manufactorum, but it's pretty cool. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. I'll have to just go on hold for a moment. Hi. Mada. 嘘じゃない。あなたと一緒。Okay, I'm back. Alright, a little bit of a surprise scare there. Wife just called to say, have you seen our daughter? I'm like, no, no one's come home at the moment. But it's okay, she found her. They were in the park together, but she has a lot of little hiding spaces that I think my wife doesn't know as many of as myself. But she's okay, so it's good. Bit of a surprise though. Alright, so where were we? Yeah, this model's thematically cool. lacking a bit of contrast. Good beginner painting though. Nice. Do like the face a lot. Maybe something could have been done a little bit more with the eye. It's hard with lots of flat surfaces there for a beginner to paint, so it's not bad. Wow, there's so many of these. Oh, there's another entry. Oh, I thought, wow, almost the same sort of style of character here. This one is the one I think I saw in the work in progress forum. Yeah, photo taking is a task in itself. Oh my god, it's a pain. I'm still trying to improve my technique and things. There's one here which it was a big shame because it looked like he'd done a bit of an effort with it, but the photo taking was really bad and naff, so it's a shame. Yeah, this one is very similar to that previous one in terms of the color choices and things. I like the blue on the back, that's nice. I think the yellow and the black here didn't contrast in this brown. I don't know. The legs don't quite do it for me. I really like this, the is it thorax? Is this the thorax? Oh no, it's not a bug, it's a spider, so I'm just gonna say his butt. It's looking pretty good. I like the base as well. The base is looking pretty cool. You can really kind of tell. The base looks awesome, actually. Yeah, remove the spider and the base looks fantastic. Spider itself is... The back I really like. The face here, though, there's nothing to it, which is a shame. But the base is nice. Okay, that is not a beginner. Another one that should not be in the beginner category. Oh my god. This one looks amazing. Oh, I should no, I can't really show this one. I'm gonna have to skip over it. A little bit rude, but it looks really, really good. A bit too gory and a bit... I think there's a little bit of a boob. No, not too much. I think I'll be okay, but I'll skip over it for now. But it looked amazing. I wish there was kind of like a quick, like, not safe for work written on there. This one looks pretty cool. It's creepy as hell. Maybe the color choice is a bit too garish. I'm saying like there's not enough contrast in a lot of these. This one has contrast, but just lacking definition in each of the areas. Again, it looks like a flat paint job on each area. Very contrasting colors, but not enough definition in each of the sections. I'm going to skip over now. What am I looking at? Is that Skaven kind of amalgamated ogre-y thing? Is that what that is? I think it is. Yeah, the Hell Pit Abomination. Yeah. Okay. They haven't done anything with the base, which is a shame. Oh, the back is got some of the base is flocked. The front though is just painted black. It doesn't do any justice to the model. Again, just too flat with a lot of the colours. It's nice that they've defined some of the areas with the green. I like that. That's nice. But I just don't know what to look at because everything is kind of a similar colour. So it's very difficult to see what I'm trying to look at. It's slanted over, I'm not sure. But yeah. Wow, like a full-on little mini diorama. That's a really nice effort. And the eyeball, look at that eyeball. I like that. Oh wow. Okay, this model here looks really awesome. I love that they've thrown in all of these other things around them for the Halloween-y type of look. But look at that eyeball. They really went to town on doing that eye. I love the eye. These pumpkins have got really nothing going on, but they're at the bottom of the base, so you're still drawn to that central piece there. Pumpkins are pretty well done around the sides. Would have liked to see these vines defined a little bit better. But that eyeball, great. Nice job. It's a pretty big model. It's cool. This one is just too flat. Again, too flat in the colors. The greens there, you need a definition here between the pumpkin and the eye glow here. Otherwise, yeah, it just blends too quickly into it, and you don't see any contrast. That's the issue with this model. Nice. That is a really cool dropper bottle. How awesome is that? Is that just like a converted dropper bottle, or just the top of the dropper bottle stuck on his head? That is great. I absolutely love that. Again, I would have been pretty happy putting that in the intermediate, maybe. I think there is some. No, it's still beginner, I guess, because although really nice placement, I would say, of all of the highlights, the blend, there's no real blend between them. You can see the brushstrokes is the issue there. But really cool theme. Love it. Love that. It's really fun. Okay, where are we up to now? We've got Windows gallery. Okay. Alright, so she's in the stocks. It's like a demon in the stocks. Good for a inquisitor who's on the more use demons side of things. It's pretty cool. Cool model. Again, just a little bit flat. Not enough. I didn't put enough coats on the wood, so it looks a bit splotchy, as in paint. Looks a bit splotchy. Could have done with a shade. Again, a lot of these could have just had a wash thrown over them and re-highlighted a bit, and they would have looked really fantastic, but everything looks a bit too flat. Face hasn't been painted at all, really. It just coloured, one colour, eyebrows done, and that's about it. So yeah, a bit more definition on those things, and then that would be good. Too glossy again. Too glossy. This is fur. Why is it shining like this? Why does it look so wet? You could say it's been in the rain, but I think that's one of the things you got to learn when you're starting out and being a beginner, is like identifying paints that are either satin, glossy, or matte, and working out what kind of materials would be best painted in which one of those three types of styles there. Yeah, certainly the last contest, the base was like a major part of the draw. Actually, the rubric on this one is a bit less on the base, but I think it can support your score. So with this contest, the base, although important, isn't as important as it has been in previous contests. That last contest, I basically got, I lost out on a higher place because of my base. My base was what brought me down. I was hitting like between 4s and 5s for a lot of the technical side of things, but the base, I think, brought me down to like a 3.5, and that just dropped me right down the list for my final entry. You just get to see me miss my mouth with my drink. So, the fun of doing it live. Yeah, too glossy on this one. And yeah, to be honest, a lot of these, the bases are missing a lot on these beginner ones, but I'll forgive them now because it's beginners. As you can see, like on the rubric down here, it doesn't have base anymore. So it has composition, so how it draws your eye across the model. Execution is kind of like the quality of the paint job that they've done. The palette, the choice of colours across the model, how appealing the colour scheme is. And then the theme, how on theme is the model. That will also be in there. So those are kind of the main things. I think there's like an extra option as well that comes up underneath when you click it as well to give it, if they've done an extra job, like someone's tried OSL or wet blending, a special technique, you can kind of rate that as well a little bit. But I'll do the rating later. This one here. Okay, he's a cutie pie. I like this one. There's some nice little definition in this one. It's just really cute. I like that model. Knife could have done a bit more work, but yeah, it looks lovely. Cute. At first I was like, it's almost like a person just ran straight at a wall and exploded. But now I'm seeing like this is actually the head and it's coming out this way and there's the tongue. That is freaky. Cool model. I like the contrast in colors of the red to the purples. That's really cool. That's nicely done. And the yellows. I think the choice of colors is really, really good. Just again, a little bit more experience and practice, and in that you could paint that up really, really nicely. Base is basic. Gene Stealer. A Brood Lord, if I'm not mistaken. Been quite nice on the bones there. Not sure about the highlight choice for the skin. And you've highlighted a lot of the arms and legs, but nothing on the head, so it draws away from the head rather than towards the head. Interesting model. Just lacking definition. Interesting style of wet blending where the top is darker than the where the shadow would be. So I feel like that's a bit backwards. Taking care with where you think highlights are supposed to be is something there. $37. Just scrolling back to see which one was 37. Hold on. Whee! 37, 37, 37, 37, 37. Where was that one? Have I skipped the part? Where was 37? Oh my god, we've gone through so many of these guys. I forgot how many there were. Ah, yeah, 37, that one. Yeah, that's a shame. Right, let's go back down. Oh, let's make sure we go back to where we were. All right. We're getting through. Wow, there was so many people who entered into this beginner's one. I am really surprised how many people did this. This is, seeing like the entries that I made, I put mine in and it was just like 3 entries for the longest period of time. I was like, is anyone else actually doing this? And then finally more people entered into my category. But this beginner category's got loads. Alright, I'm getting another phone call, so I'm going to have to go on hold for a minute. I may be back in a bit. Just a moment. Alright, I'm back. I'm gonna have to go very soon because I've got to get a bath ready for my daughter. She's been playing in the park and gotten all hot and bothered and all yucky, so she needs a bath as soon as she gets back. So we'll just have a look at a couple more and then I'm gonna go and get ready for her return. Yeah. Okay, where were we? Yeah, we got to 41. So 13. Nice OSL on this. Very spooky. Does highlight the face a little bit. Maybe this bit is a bit too bright compared to this area here. OSL should be brighter than what's surrounding it. They did a really good job on the head because they kept everything else really dark. It gets very bright at the bottom. So that's the bit that's a bit odd, I guess. But really cool. Definitely gives a good atmosphere to the model. It's nice. Like it. Good, decent paint job. Too glossy. Maybe the camera's fault. Camera and lighting.
It's a bit light on the camera shot. Let's see if there's some better shots of it. Yeah, you can see brush strokes very easily, but again, that might be because of the camera and the light. The way they've shot it is a bit off. They've tried to do some nice edge highlighting. There's a nice blend on there. That's really, really good. Blending here is really nice. Yeah, they really work. Some good basic technical skills. I'm guessing, did they use an airbrush for some of that? I'm not sure. But that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think it's an airbrush. No, that was painted on. That's a good blend. Looks nice. Just I don't like these brush strokes on the black. Black is notoriously difficult to paint though, so I understand that. But yeah, not bad, not bad. Okay, could have done some more with the base. Okay, let's make this one the last one. Cool character. This is what the Wendigo, is it? I think this is a Wendigo. Yeah, a bit too glossy, but everything defined well. Everything painted cleanly. A very clean paint job. Not really messy at all in any areas. Bit too flat for my liking, and a much too glossy for my liking. This wood does not shine like this. I think you could get away with doing some of this glossiness. I'm not sure if it's a varnish they use, because it's got a picture of the Vallejo paints, which are very matte. So it shouldn't shine like that unless it's the lighting in the camera that's doing it, or you've thrown on a varnish and the varnish is either satin or glossy, which is fine to use, but you've got to choose what you make glossy. If you make everything look like satin, it doesn't look right, because this wood doesn't look quite right. Okay, right, we're going to leave it there. So thank you for joining. So it's really nice to see you, Red Squad of 5, because you're always so... you leave such nice comments. It makes me very happy. That's my stream information. I want to be on that. Yeah, that's all of that. So thank you very much for being with me. We're going to be leaving now. I may come on again later and try and continue through all of these. Try and finish off this beginner section. We'll see how big the other sections are. I've got to even vote for these ones to get onto the next sections and things, so I'm going to have to sit down and just get through and vote them. But it's given me some ideas of exactly where the range is with these guys, and then using the rubric I can better define the scores. But yeah, thank you for joining, and catch you later. Bye bye.